Perfectionism. Do you have it? Do you want to release it? And do you want to understand the process of how to release it and actually what it is before you release it? Because we got to know something before we let it go. You know it, you let go of it. So before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I post. But other than that, let's get into this video about perfectionism. So this is the definition of perfectionism, and I'm going to read it out so I don't mess this up. Perfectionism is characterized by a person's concern with striving for flawlessness and perfection, and is accompanied by critical self-evaluations and concerns regarding others' evaluation. I just want that to sink in. Essentially what perfectionism is, it's very similar with anxiety. You think the outcome has to be a certain way or is going to be a certain way. For example, when you have anxiety, you feel like the outcome is going to be negative. With perfectionism, you know the outcome has to be perfect or it won't be right. Now that is BS, that's a lie. And essentially with perfectionism and anxiety, we're on both ends of the spectrum. We're on the extremist side of the spectrum. And as you're probably aware, extremism never works. Extreme of something will never work. Regardless whether it's extreme positive or extreme negative, it will never work. Because life is not just negative, and life is also not just positive. And there is such thing as toxic positivity and also definitely toxic negativity. But if you think that everything in life is just beauty and amazing, like we break our bone, that's amazing. It's not. But something good can come from it and we can reframe it. But that's not necessarily good. Do you know what I mean? Like hurting yourself isn't going to feel good. It's not going to feel nice. So there's the extreme never works. Like I believe in being dedicated and becoming your best and doing what you can do to be the best, but not being an extremist, because that's where things start to fall apart and you start to fall. Because as I said, anxiety, you see the worst case scenario. Perfectionism, you have to achieve the best case scenario. So essentially you're saying, if you're coming from this point of view of anxiety and perfectionism, I am anxious, I'm going to be the worst, this is going to be the worst possible, but it has to be the best. So then you're so far away, you're literally here to here. But what if you were here and your outcome was about here? You have more chance of actually achieving it. So it makes more sense. And what I want you to understand is that no one, not one person, no one is perfect. You are born in the eyes of perfection. You are made perfectly imperfect. But no one is truly perfect. And you can look at this from any point of view. Who is someone who you believe to be perfect right now? Yes, they have amazing talents. Yes, they are incredible. Yes, they are influential. Yes, they are loving. Yes, they are kind. But there's other areas that they're not so great. So they are not perfect in every area of life. They may be amazing and incredible in some areas of life, but there's still flaws. And the first initial person that comes to me, I don't know why, is Cristiano Ronaldo. A lot of people look up to him to be perfect. Now, yes, he may be perfect in some areas, or he may be really good in some areas. But I've seen a few interviews of him speaking and him saying how he works way harder than everyone else. So he's going to be amazing at football or soccer for you Americans. But there's going to be things that he's sacrificed in regards to time with his family, because he's had to train so much more than other people. So yes, he may be perfect in one area, but there's going to be other areas that he struggles. And that's not saying that he does not spend time with his family, because I don't know his whole story. But I'm sure he's probably working on that. And I've heard a few things, and I remember he was talking to his son saying, if you want to be the best, you work harder. You want to run on the track, you want to stay asleep, you're not gonna make it. And yes, that's a good work ethic. But then there's other things saying, well, you've got to be relaxed in life sometimes. But then there's the other side of someone being too relaxed that they don't do anything. So there's really a fine line between perfectionism and laziness. Because if you are completely perfect and you do everything in the best way possible, you're going to be missing out on some other things, like going on holiday, like spending time with your family, like doing your hobbies, doing things that you genuinely enjoy, chilling out, laying on the beach, reading a book, something that is relaxing. And no one is perfect, especially first time. And I want you to understand that a failed attempt is better than no attempt. We tend to think as a society, because schooling has taught us this, you need to be the best. You need to get it right first time with these exams. You need to do this, and this. And it's not necessarily needed, especially in today's day and age. We have everything at the tips of our fingers. We have information. We have knowledge. So we don't necessarily need to be perfect at remembering things. But then in turn, because we've got the knowledge, our memory decreases because we don't need to remember certain things. For example, if you were around before contact books on phones were a thing, you probably knew multiple numbers. I knew a few numbers. It was just sort of like I was coming out to flip phones, so they had contacts. But I knew maybe 4 or 5 numbers, maybe more. But I know my mum and sort of that generation, they would know multiple different numbers, and they probably still know some of them today because they wanted to speak to their friends. So we begin to lose our memory when we start to replace it with something that makes it easier for us, essentially. So perfectionism isn't really something that we should even want to achieve, or we shouldn't strive to achieve. But what you can do is become your best, because your best is perfect for you. It may not be perfect, but it's perfect for you right now. And the reason we feel like we need to perfect something, we need to be perfect, is because we think the task is easily achieved. And if we think a task is easily achieved, then we are going to do our best. For example, you don't have to think, oh, I need to make the perfect step, the next perfect step, because you know, if I just start walking, I'm going to get to my destination regardless. I may trip over. But if I just start walking, I'm going to get to my destination. But if I think about perfecting each step, it's going to take me 10 times longer to get there. So what makes more sense? Thinking about every step when you walk, and really, really stopping after every step and thinking, where would the best place be to put my foot? How am I going to get the most the most springy step when I put my next step down? We're wasting so much time. Because as I said, you will tend to think you need to be perfect when something is believed to be easy. For example, when you get these adverts talking about making money online, scrap the 9 to 5, stop working and just do online business, they make it look so easy. So when we don't get it first time, we believe that we are useless, which takes us perfectionism all the way down and just lowers our self-esteem. Say, oh, I couldn't do it, I'm useless, I'm this, I'm that. Because they make it look so easy. Now, yes, business really, I suppose it's simple, but it's not easy by any account. And you look at anyone who is in business, the people that are thriving are the ones that have been doing it longer. And it's very easy to make money. It is, realistically. You provide a service of value and you exchange it for money. That's how it works, whether it's a product or whether it is a service. But actually getting the clients, doing the marketing. For example, my business, I shoot all my videos, I edit all my videos, I speak to all my clients, I message all my clients, I jump on all the calls. I'm wearing so many hats right now. I'm not a business genius, and I never claimed to be a business genius. But what I know is I would rather have a year experience of running a business than 5 years of reading about how to run a business. Because I'm going to learn naturally through things that actually happen. Because a book is there on paper, there's only one outcome, whatever that page says. Versus these multiple outcomes that are coming to me in an experience of business. And essentially when we're going in to do something that we think we need to be perfect at, you kind of under budget how much time it's going to take, how much effort it's going to take, how much willingness you need to succeed, and also how difficult it's going to be, because it isn't easy to do something great with your life, or everyone would do it. But what it takes to make change is consistent daily action. Doesn't mean you have to be the best consistent daily action, but just consistent daily action. For example, I've spent a long two or 3 years nearly on YouTube. I'm looking at my YouTube page. 11 views, 13 views, 31 views, 17 views, 20 views, 44 views. And I spend a lot of my time editing videos. A hell of a lot of time editing videos. A hell of a lot of time shooting videos. But I know long term, if I continue, it's going to pay off. And it's kind of like that meme where the guy's mining gold, I think it is, gold or diamonds. And he's mining it, and someone else, and the guy above him doesn't actually get to the gold, because he thinks that the guy who is above him gets a load of gold. The guy who is below him is just shy of the gold, and then turns away and thinks, oh, I'm never going to make it. You could be one hit away from getting all you want, but you're never going to know if you never continue to consistently take daily action and imperfect daily action. You don't have to be, as I said, you don't have to be perfect first time. You don't have to be the best today. But what you do have to do is take consistent daily action. And this is why I personally love listening to success stories. And if you want to watch my story from failure, from fear, from anxiety, from drugs, from hopelessness to hopefulness, security, happiness, joy, fulfillment, and confidence, go and check this video out here. Because when you listen to stories, it gives you that form of hope. And we need that hope, especially when we're trying to be better at something. I watched a video this morning and it really inspired me to say, I've got to do that. I've got to be there. I've got to go there. Doesn't mean I have to be there tomorrow, but I know, how am I going to get there? I need to be seen by more people. How do I be seen by more people? Post more social media content, reach out to more people, find more clients, create massive shifts in people's lives. And again, if you want to watch any of my testimonials, here's a playlist of them explaining how I have helped people and how I will continue to help people. And it's only going to get faster, better, and more improved results. So I know that I'm not meant to be perfect. I know I'm not trying to be perfect, because if I would have wanted to be perfect before I started, I wouldn't be where I am today. When I first did my first hypnosis session, I was scared. I was literally petrified. I didn't know what to do. I was like, is it going to work? And I remember after the session saying to myself, did it work? Were they hypnotized? I don't know if they were hypnotized. I didn't have a clue. But if I never got started, I never would have been able to continue to finish. And I'm now finishing. Do you know what I mean? Every day I'm finishing. And there's no end outcome. There's no end goal where I want to be. But every day I'm just progressing. My path is unfolding. And it wouldn't have started unless I started. It wouldn't have got going unless I got going. And we should really understand this. No one is coming to save you. You can save you. I can help you save yourself, but I'm not going to save you. I can help you get out your rut. I can help you switch your mindset. I can help you reframe. I can help you change. I can help you release childhood traumas, anxieties, and pain. But if you don't allow yourself to make the change, then nothing's going to change. So if you do want some help from me, send me a message or head over to my website. But other than that, have an amazing day. Don't try and be perfect, but keep spreading love, kindness, and so much positivity.